Ding, ding, ding.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Let's get this show on the road.
Before you say anything, prepare to shut the fuck up.
Screw me. I ripped ass at the ATM.
McLovin! Nice!
Sit back, relax, and enjoy irrelevant platitudes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
What do you mean? Happy Friday. What the fuck? Do you want me to... What?
It wasn't subtle at all.
Yeah, mate, we spoke about this probably about 2 months ago where I changed the intro.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't here for like.
It's happened now.
No, I know, but it happened and it changed. And
Oh,
it's
I've heard
Yeah.
that for the first time. I must have been zoned out the first time.
every
I heard
single time.
it. Yeah.
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to episode number 72 of Irrelevant Platitudes. We are your hosts, Peter Benici and...
Phil the Zill, bring you all things irrelevant commentary on sex, dating, friendships.
And we have special guest today, Rebecca Moore in the studio. Is it
Oh,
Moore?
that was the
It's
first
Bec.
name.
To be-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Bec.
start with Bec.
Yeah.
But obviously...
Mum calls me Rebecca when I'm in trouble.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
about it.
So
yeah.
obviously I'm going to call you Beck later,
Yeah,
but this
thank
is
you.
the formal introduction.
Yes,
Becky
that is
Moore.
my full name.
I realised like halfway through preparing the episode, I'm like, I don't know her last name. Lucky it was in
It's
your
Well, you
right
said
there.
it right. I mean,
Lucky it was in your
it's
fucking
on
Instagram
there.
handle,
I mean,
thank God.
It's good that you can read, you know, just in case.
Well done. Well
But
done.
we've got you on because we want to kind of flesh out. We've done an episode on dating with powerful women in business before,
Many
Um,
women, which is awesome.
but I really kind of want to, I guess, flesh it out from the perspective of someone that's like always super busy. Like we've had people that have like ebbs and flows, and I've always
Yeah.
seen you in kind of like a perpetually I'm always doing stuff state.
Yeah.
But before we do that, how have you been? It's been 3 weeks and I haven't seen you. And this is the first time I've seen you since you've been back. Welcome back. I missed you.
Thank you.
How was your trip?
I missed you too. I'm sorry. I just
no,
felt
these two have been chatty as fuck the
We
entire
can't
time.
Stop. we
I've
finish
been-
each other's sentences now.
You ruined it.
I've been ridiculed for all the toys in the room. They tried to fuck with my head, and then we go
succeeded.
live.
We
as
need
well.
to
It wasn't
discuss why
trying.
it actually fucked with your head first.
Yeah.
Can we go into that?
We can talk about that. But
Yes.
first, how was Europe?
Europe was fantastic.
Hey, Paolo, I miss you, love you. If you're watching, hello.
Probably is.
Yeah, we've got a few people in now.
But yeah, no, it was really, really lovely. 2 weeks was like the perfect amount of time, but Subu was injured like during my time away. So
Oh shit!
he has like nerve damage now, and I had to take him to the emergency on Saturday when I came back at like 5 a.m.
No way.
And like, yeah, so that was like a great thing. Oh, and I had an ovarian cyst rupture on the plane. So for
Whoa.
26 hours, I was in like pain. But the trip before that, like the journey in Europe was great.
Oh, that is great.
It was a
Everything
great
else
time.
was fucking traumatic
Yeah, and
as
then
all
when I
kinds.
was like at home, I'm like, there's just one more thing that I'm waiting for that's going to happen. And then I had ants in my house, and I'm like, excellent, that was it. That was all I needed.
Comes in
threes.
threes.
Exactly.
Jesus.
So it was, but the trip was great. I had an awesome time, and it was.
Was it
very-
just Freiburg and that's it?
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
went to Basel. We went up and
Now, is Basel in
met my
France?
auntie in Switzerland.
Switzerland.
But
okay.
it's like that crossover point between France, Freiburg, and
Yeah, because I think they have a team in the French league.
yeah, they've got like
Yeah.
it's like all three
Okay.
kind of at the border. But yeah, he met my auntie, which was kind of nice. And so I got to see my auntie, which was great, and we spent time, and I semi co-parented. Ooh. Yeah, it was a really,
Yeah.
really great time.
And he is friend of the podcast.
yes.
Hello.
Oh well, now that you're doing that, yes.
Yeah. He's been on episodes before.
I
it's
know,
fine.
but last podcast I'd said
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Fair.
thank you.
That's all right.
Anyway,
I can
that's
edit
out.
that out if it really needs to be.
it doesn't
removed.
matter too much.
Yeah.
And you have been not away for 3 weeks. What
No.
have you been up to?
Yeah, no. So I've been here, tolling away. So I've been working with City Swoon a bit more.
Mhm.
Shout out to Chris and everyone for hooking up the gig. It's been a lot of fun.
Beautiful.
More of that in the future too.
I'd like to come to one of those, by the way.
Yeah, we'll
been.
fucking 100%
Yeah.
will. Beck was on one of those, so we'll
Yeah.
cover that today as well,
And it's
guys.
going to be very
that was
fun to talk
interesting.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might sound slightly more unhinged this week because I'm in the midst of the first week of Sober October.
And so what is Sober October for the people who are listening?
Yeah.
We'll just presume it's about alcohol.
Yeah, so it is literally about, it started as being about alcohol.
Yep.
This was the original because people have dry July and stuff. But Sober October was the very first one, and it's usually based around competition. It's not for raising money for anything or this and the other.
Yep.
There is, I think, 10 of us all doing it. So it's no coffee, no booze, no cigarettes. Training,
the hefty pause there.
training for half an hour at least 5 days a week.
That's disgusting.
Which is nothing. Half an hour is nothing.
Like
Okay.
includes walking or
And no sneaky other stimulants that we can't talk about on the podcast either. So that all needs to go.
Yeah.
And
chocolate
I
milkshakes.
drink a lot. I was smoking too much. And
now
we've
you're going
now
through
recently
withdrawal.
found out I had a massive coffee addiction that I'm struggling with. But I'm doing okay now. I was in pieces before.
Yeah, it's
we went
okay.
live.
You've only just pieced together maybe like 2 minutes before the start.
Just enough.
very
And then you
true.
guys
And you
decided
did
to make
ask me,
fun
and
of
I
me.
said definitely
We
not.
were trying to antagonise this.
There's no
It's true.
chance in hell I'm joining this.
Yeah, no, fuck that noise.
So that's been
I enjoy my vices.
that's been the 3 weeks up until now. We're going to have a big kind of ending to it at the end of the month.
That'll be nice.
There will be a winner.
Can
and
I
if
come
there-
just for the sake of
Yeah, it's going to be a big thing. We're going to go out.
There's
not
a
being
trophy.
sober?
There is a trophy coming.
But it doesn't have boobs.
I'm
No
really,
boobs
I'm
this
really
time.
upset. that
I'm
you didn't
upset
go
about
to the
this too.
trophy.
As soon as you said it, I'm like, there should be boobs on a trophy. Why do
There
not
is. So I had a boob trophy selected.
Okay,
but
and
then
then
I
it got ruled
decided
out
to
for
go-
a dick trophy.
No, I wanted it to be even more weird and losery and have an actual trophy.
Oh, and it
For
should
the
say
winner.
you tried.
And it
Yeah.
it's going to be engraved with the 2023
Yeah.
Sober October champion.
Oh, that's so corny.
It's the best.
I like it though. I like
And if
it,
there is a draw, because there very well could be like a 5-way tie
I
if
doubt
everyone
it.
stays
You're all
good.
weak.
Angle
I'm just
grinder, and
kidding.
we just cut it down the middle.
No, there's
Oh, I
going
like
to
that,
be
like a little cake.
there's going to be feats of strength. So we're going to have a scavenger list from the start of the evening all the way through to the end. First person to complete it wins.
Please tell me everyone has to be intoxicated for that.
Well, it's going to be throughout the whole night, and I'm gonna set it up so that it's going to have to
But
be done
you're
at
setting
separate
it up,
stages.
so that sounds like you don't
can't
believe
be
in
a part of
yourself.
it.
What do you mean? No, well,
You're not going to be a winner with that attitude.
I mean, given what happened probably half an hour ago, I think we all know it's
No, have some
It's
faith.
not-
You gotta have faith.
Oh,
going to be
we're
a
gonna wean you
problem.
back on the coffee though.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Slowly.
Gonna hit you
Yeah.
hard.
Don't inject it straight in the veins. Though.
That's I can't wait for that. Actually, that'll be I reckon
Just
the
an
best buzz
IV
I've had in
drip
a
of
long
coffee?
time. Fucking
Yeah,
oath.
something like that.
I will not be responsible for this.
But enough pish posh about our weeks. I want to actually. Well, you guys get to drink, so.
Drink of the week.
So you guys are drinking
Have it.
White Claws.
Sponsored us. Still.
No, I
Fuckheads.
think when they do, it'll be a massive meme. But I'm on. This is fancy, disgusting spring water.
It's so
Anyway.
so dry.
Yep. So a lot less fun with that one.
It tastes like soap.
It looks
yeah,
like soap.
yeah.
Mm.
tasty.
And I
Like a
think this is
Christmas
where we're
bar
going
soap
next.
that you give to
And all
someone.
the while, you're just really wondering, are we going to get hopped up enough to make some bad decisions? Perhaps play a little game called Just a Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
All right. So, Bec, obviously, we've brought you on
That's her
today.
name, don't wear it out.
That's
not Rebecca.
Not Rebecca.
Definitely
You
not
got very
Rebecca.
upset when I called you
Oh,
fucking
I
Rebecca.
only get called that when I'm in trouble.
Well, I mean,
Maybe you are in trouble.
but yeah, basing on the answer of some
Have
of
you
these
spoken to the
questions, you
police
could be.
recently?
Potentially.
Do you want the mouse so you can jump through some stuff as well?
I feel like you want to give me the mouse, and I'm going to say yes.
If you don't want it, I can. do
I'm happy
everything.
to have it.
Oh, you spelled my name wrong in that one too.
Hurtful.
Yeah.
It's
So many
actually
different ways.
no, he spells it correct. Gremlin. It's
Oh,
actually
that
spelled
yeah.
very
Okay,
correctly.
we're not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that point.
So you give it to me the wrong way. Thank you. Rude.
That's all right. So obviously, I want the guys to kind of get a little bit of more of an understanding about you as a human being.
Who are you?
Yeah, and like
Where are you
the lady
going?
behind the brand, because I don't even know what the brand is.
Yeah. What is the
Um,
brand?
Do you want to explain to the guys what you do?
All right, so
What makes you a powerful businesswoman?
I am co-founder of Yoke Group, which is a hospitality group here in Melbourne. I'm not originally from here though, so
No.
it's a
Where
bit
are you from?
Foreign. Jervis Bay,
Yeehaw.
and everyone calls it Jarvis, but there's an E.
Yes.
Just want to clarify.
No, eh?
There is an E. So from the country coast, moved here nearly 8 years ago, and then started working at a cafe and bought in 3.5 years ago. Now we have 4 cafes.
So when you started working at the Yoke Group, how like was this a young kid
So
thing?
this is before Yoke had even
Yeah.
been created.
You gotta be yoking me, man. I was waiting to say that the whole time.
And you know what?
God.
It didn't fucking land.
It did not land at all.
Nice.
You know what? When you're acting
Everyone
like this, you
tested
can't
that
make
earlier.
No,
you can't
I
make
know.
these jokes when you're as scrambled as you are. Absolute fried unit, if you will.
You hard-boiled bitch. No.
Anyway,
Ooh,
let's
I'll
continue.
pay that.
You like that
That
one?
was, that was
Alright,
quick
alright,
enough.
alright.
Quick enough.
It wasn't because I thought of it when you said scrambled and waited.
Oh no, the pause. You never.
A magician
pause.
never reveals his secrets.
You just did.
Yeah.
You're not a
Where
magician.
were we?
So when did you start like working in cafes?
When I was 13.
So
I
That
had
was
my first love.
Yeah, first job. I started in a cafe back home. It was a Gloria Jean's.
Oh god,
Um,
aren't they anti like?
Oh,
The
it
gays.
was, it was
Oh.
oh, I didn't know that. Not
Yeah.
good coffee
Are
either.
they
But
really?
They're anti-gay because they're run by the church, like as a broader
oh, I didn't.
is
last
Gloria
much
Jean's
longer
owned
than
by the
6 months,
church?
so-
No
a
fucking
church
way.
of
Google
some
that
sort.
one.
Yeah. And I can. Well, my dad told me that, so I'm hoping that I haven't been
We're
going
going-
spreading truths. But
Dad always.
I'm
tells
doing a
truth.
Jamie. Yeah. The parent company of Gloria Jean's coffee is co-owned by the Hillsong.
yeah, I was right.
Whoa.
Fucking told
Oh my
you.
God.
We used to have banana bread and butter all the time
Yes.
there, and then my dad found out they were anti-gay, and he's like, "We're not going to support them," which is great because like I thought he was
Wow.
like really homophobic initially.
You know what's crazy? My ex
This has blown my mind.
lives in she lives in Western Sydney near their head Hillsong office
Oh,
thingy
not good.
and church, and there's a Gloria Jean's across the road.
Same.
Holy
all makes
fucking
sense now.
shitballs!
Wow, that's,
That's
started.
insane.
But that's where you started.
So that's
Gloria
where I
Jean's.
started,
Yes.
So you're a homophobe.
13. Oh shit!
She's a racist and a homophobe.
I
There's
could
going
have
to be
not.
so many things. We're going to just line them all up tonight. No, so I
Why
started
would you
there
line them up?
and hated it. Absolutely hated it.
In the microphone, that was really funny.
And then
you sure you're not
I-
German?
You said I don't want me to line them all up.
Oh, I like it when
Sorry.
you're not so
Sorry, guys.
scrambled.
Anyway,
Oh,
yes.
my ears are burning as well now.
Oh, it's hot. Look, they're red.
They're naturally.
Very red.
I like the red ears. I think they're a nice look to your skin tone.
So I started there and then
Yeah.
hated it. And I was 15 when I got I was working at other hospo jobs and I hated them.
Yeah.
15 was in year 10 and my mum gave me an ultimatum because I said I didn't want to stay at school. She said you can either stay or go to TAFE or get a job. So I left school at the end of year 10, got a full-time job and went to TAFE.
Fuck me, that's a lot.
Yeah.
At
So that-
13?
15.
15.
Yeah, 15 turning 16. So
Did you complete your Rosa?
They call it a school certificate.
Like year 10
Yeah,
certificate
year 10
equivalent.
school certificate.
You get a certificate for finishing year 10?
Huh?
You get a certificate for finishing year 10?
Is that coherent? One more time.
Do you get a certificate for finishing year 10?
Yeah,
it
so
probably
you-
wasn't coherent actually now that you say it.
You-
Guys, this
I
is
wanna play
this
that
is
one
how
back.
No.
You used to be
This
able
is how
to
withdrawal
graduate in
I
year
am right
10.
now.
Yeah.
Now you have to complete to year 12.
So you had to
Okay.
get marks over a certain level.
But a
in year
Rosa
10.
or year 10 certificate
Yeah.
was what they used to do before
Yeah.
they phased that out.
Okay. So
So
you
you
can just
could
kind of
leave
cruise
earlier.
through year 10 now?
You
You
have
have
to
to
have to
continue
stay
through.
unless you have like an apprenticeship or
Yeah.
something.
You know, I genuinely don't think I said a word then. Now that that's horrible.
Because like
This is my worst
I
fear.
sometimes am
I'm
hard
glad
of
we
hearing, so
both
when you did that too, I'm
responded
like,
in the
okay, I'm
same
not
way.
like.
But you both did, and I was like, I think they're correct. I think this actually happened. I don't think I
We
used
should play this
words.
back later.
I can't wait.
Oh my god.
So
Anyway.
yeah, anyway, I left school, went and did a TAFE degree
Yep.
and got a full-time job at McDonald's.
Awesome. Yep.
Love Macca's.
Macca's
Makes you
is so
work
good for
hard.
that. Yeah.
A weird one is I've noticed most successful people, like really successful people, have
Yeah.
all worked at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they
Well,
do
have people
grill
that-
you.
yeah.
It's so structured though. This is probably my favorite part about it, and it's something I still bring into my role now. Is that everything is so structured to the point, and
Yeah.
anybody could do it.
That's
Like
awesome.
anyone can walk into a role, and you know that you can teach them because of that. So
Fuck.
it makes sense, and I think that sort of, without me knowing, it sort of followed me through to where I am now. But then, anyway, long story short, had multiple jobs at any one time. Moved out of home when I was 16, and then I moved here 23.
Still so young. Because
Yeah,
you came here at 24, didn't you?
Whatever, 3 years ago.
Yeah, 24.
23.
Yeah,
so
fucking hell.
23.
Apparently so.
Melbourne. But I moved down here on my own, and then I got a job here before I'd actually moved. I'd applied for a cafe. I didn't really think anything of it, and then got a phone call that day off my now business partner, who was just like, "We need you to start as soon as you can get here." So
Amazing.
I said yes. Didn't have anywhere to live. Didn't have anything to do. I just
Jesus.
Ship down.
yeah, grabbed my shit and moved. So
Mm.
that happened 7.5 years ago, and haven't looked back.
Thank you, business.
Yeah, he's a good
That's-
egg.
So this is one of another two
One of
business.
3, yes, it
Yes.
is 2 of them. Yeah.
And yeah, I guess so. Where does the company sit now? Because you're obviously involved with these guys and girls.
Guys,
And the girl.
yeah.
So you've got a whole bunch of cafes.
Yeah.
They're all in Melbourne, right?
All in Melbourne, all in
Yep.
Northside Melbourne, yeah.
Cool. Do you want to drop any names of the places to people listening at home, seeing as we've got a predominant Melbourne?
Depends where everyone's from. If you're Northside,
Well,
definitely.
they can come down and fucking try the coffee, right?
So there's Tinker, Terra Twilight, Convoy, and Hi-Fi.
Terra Twilight, I actually heard. It's the
Collingwood.
one that eat. Yeah.
Yes, they've got your own, like, make your own bowls.
I was
things like
gonna
that,
go
so
there.
cool.
I used to work there, but I never did. Healthy food, not my thing. But I have heard
There's
of it,
fried
so
food
like,
in there too, but it's not. I don't know. It's
I might visit there. I'm going
Still-
back to
still very
Collingwood
green.
next year.
But yeah. So I've got all 4 of them at the moment. We're looking at 2 potential venues as well coming into the new year.
Those are on the hush hush, I presume.
We just
Solid?
haven't figured out which 2. I mean, there's
Got some numbers.
yeah, got to figure out which ones and whether or not we do 2 or just the 1.
Yeah.
So it's all happening. But yeah, so I bought in 3.5 years ago.
What did it take to kind of get into that process? Like, how did your partner or you kind of approach that?
So I was managing Tinker at the time.
Yeah.
And I had just finished my nursing degree as well. So I was managing full time
Slightly.
and
Yeah.
doing a nursing degree, fast tracking a
constantly
nursing
go,
degree.
go, go.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
what I mean by multiple things at once. So I was doing both of those for 18 months and finished my nursing and hated it. Absolutely hated it.
I
It was-
hear
you
all the
just-
high school bitches that you hate kind of go there.
Yeah, it's the sort of job
Really?
you can get a husband and you can work anywhere. So if they ever move, you've always got a job.
Yeah.
That's kind of what a lot of my friends did anyway.
Mm.
So shout out to them. But no, I did that because I wanted to have a backup plan in case I ever, hospo ever fell apart and I wanted something different.
Yeah.
And hated it. And when I finished, he approached me and was like, look, would you want to come on board if you're not wanting to do that? And I didn't have to. It's easy.
So did they give you the in and just say that, or did you have to kind of purchase like profit?
Yeah, you'd
like
have to
what
buy
kind
in,
of
right?
thing
Yeah, so
was
buy in.
involved within that?
So he approached me about it and then I bought in a percentage into that business.
Yeah.
And that was before we'd gone into business with our other business partner separately.
Mm-hmm.
And then as of, you can say this year, Yoke Group was created. And the idea is that we brought all of our venues together, they were separate or not, the equity shareholders,
Yeah.
brought everyone together. And it has been a blast. Yoke Group was created this year, but we've been working together for
That's really, really
Give or take.
cool.
Don't
That's
get
a
me
name
wrong,
too. I
fair.
like the
Yeah.
name Yoke Group. Like that's
we wanted
quite
something
cute.
that was hospo related but wasn't gonna pigeonhole us in cafes.
Yeah.
Just
Like-
breakfast.
Yeah, that's basically
You don't just have eggs at
I know.
breakfast.
it's like we
It's-
could get a bakery.
Jesus
We
Christ.
could do like there is so many things that we could do, but it wasn't something like we didn't want it to be Northside Hospitality Group because
Just
That's
nothing
boring
vegan.
and clinical and ugh.
exactly, and it pigeonholes us just to Northside. So there's just so many things that we put into it. We've got a big group of like our marketing team and everything that helps us. So
Say that
It
you were
works.
poached by.
Nice.
oh no,
That was an excellent joke, if you will.
it was
There you go.
very good.
Excellent joke.
Excellent.
I caught
Thank
it.
you.
I caught it.
Oh my goodness.
So obviously, with all of that
This will
going
never
on, where the fuck did you have time to date throughout all of this stuff?
Yeah.
I make time when it is good.
Yeah.
No.
It's obviously quite challenging.
It is. I am the kind of personality that will work my ass off any day of the week, but
Mm.
at the same time, I will always make time for things that are important to me. So dating, if it's something that like I actually didn't date for most part of my first 5 years of me moving here.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, few bad relationships back home. Sort of, I made a pact
Scarred
with
you.
myself. Yeah, it was more like new, fresh start. I wanted to be a new version of myself. I wanted to love myself. I wanted to be successful and independent and self-sufficient, and know that I didn't have to
Rely on it.
rely on anyone or be constantly like checking in, and I could just do it on my own and do everything myself. So I'd wanted to get to a point where I was doing that for me
Okay.
before I started dating and bringing someone else onto that as well.
It's really
So-
fucking
That's such
mature
a,
for
yeah,
how old?
I was going
I
23 when you
was
first moved.
23 when I moved
yeah.
here.
So you're
That's very mature.
mid-20s.
28 when I sort of started dating.
That's actually not too bad. That's like, that tracks.
And that's
But,
also
but for
fitting
your
into
20s,
timeline.
it's like everybody's going out and doing their things. But I've also, you know,
Well, but you've
Just
also
work.
been
done
making
things and-
moves in different ways as well, and you're
Yeah.
prioritizing your career so that you can set yourself up for longevity. I think
Yeah.
you've done the probably smarter fast tracking. And honestly,
Yeah.
does anyone really like partying, or do they like alcohol and validation?
And sex.
That
Um,
comes with validation.
but with that in mind, how would your friends describe your love life
Yeah.
in 3 words?
Interesting.
Well, I've had
Should have actually asked your
soap
friends, mate. So
opera.
we gave the questions earlier. No,
Fucking
okay.
soap opera.
Soap
there you
opera.
go. Fucking soap opera.
All right.
No, it's funny because I've had people joke with me about doing a podcast because we call it the stables. I know everyone's got their roster, right? People
You got
talk
the
about
stables
having
because
their
you're from
roster.
the country?
We got our stable because you can put people in, you can take them out when you want, and you put them back. But
Oh, benching.
also because
Stop
we're
it.
all very
Yeah, yeah.
unstable,
Mhm.
it just makes sense.
Mm.
So
Multi-layered.
Yeah.
anyway, we've talked about that, but no, I would definitely say it's a fucking soap opera.
Yeah. Okay.
Like we can
awesome.
make a TV show if we wanted to.
Yes.
I'm very curious. I want to hear more stories.
Oh, ugh.
But for
So
now,
many.
on the download, do you want to share your kind of love journey thus far, or lack thereof, even in some sorts?
Well, there's definitely not been a lack. Obviously, except that 5
Well,
years.
that's what
Okay,
I'm
dude.
referring
The
to.
5 years is the
alright?
lack,
I was
right? So we'll
including that
bump
in that
that
space. All right, in the last
Um,
2 or 3 years,
Oh,
how has
don't we
that
wanna start from the
evolved?
beginning because it's
Start
so
from the
much
beginning.
more
So
interesting.
I want to hear that then. Yes.
No, she's like yes.
Give us all of the gems.
So I was married when I was 18.
Very legal of age. Yes.
Very young.
So I was with him from the high school sweethearts, all that
Uh-huh.
crap. He was a Defence Force baby and moved to Townsville for the army. Long story short, got married for the perks. And then it didn't work out. So I moved home, had a couple of very horrible relationships after that. And that kind of brought me to right before I moved here. Had a good situationship. Shout out to him. He's great still. Great
So this
person.
was back home?
He's a good mate. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he, it was an easy sort of, you know, those situations where it's like Christmas parties and everyone's getting married and you got all these things and you just don't want to go by
You
yourself.
need
Oh,
someone.
he's like the
yeah.
go-to date.
Yeah.
He's like that
nice.
holiday movie.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the holiday.
Very nice.
He's great guy. We're still really good mates. But it got to that point where I was like, I just didn't want to be in a relationship and that was enough for me.
Yeah.
And then when I moved here, I knew exactly what I did not want. So 5 years later, then we started dating again and that's
No
been
way.
a fucking
I've
whirlwind.
totally forgotten this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. How does it feel to kind of reconnect after that?
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Because
how
that's
did
a
it
very
fucking
substantially
happen?
long time.
It was horrible. It's still a journey.
In what way do you describe
I
it?
think I grew up with a lot of boys and I know what bloke humor is and I'm
Yeah.
cool with that. But I think we've spoken about this. I'm just like I'm a bloke. So around people it's just like people become really good mates with me and then anything more than that is really scary for guys.
Yeah.
You can be a bit intimidating. We've discussed this.
We
in the
have
past.
discussed
Yeah.
this, yeah. Which I don't like.
I think you're just direct though. I think 'cause
and I'm confident and
Yeah.
I'm not confident at all. I freak out.
maybe
a lot, but-
self-assured because you
Yeah.
know who you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. And
But it's good.
I've
Do you think you'd be
come to
attracted
terms
to a
with
dude
that.
that would be intimidated by someone with just like kind of normal, above average confidence? I would say. For girls.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think that would be your jive.
No.
Jive vibe.
A
Same
jive.
shit.
You could do both.
Yeah.
You can dance, you can chat.
Yeah, you can.
No, I don't think so. I
Yeah.
don't know. I need a man. I would like somebody who has the same sort of self confidence, like
Yeah.
in every
It's like a
aspect of their
bar.
life. Yeah, like
You know what I mean?
I don't want to rely on someone, and I don't want someone to rely on me.
Mm.
I'm very aware of what I need from somebody, and it's not that I need them. I would like them to be
Yeah.
around.
That's healthy too to be able
yeah.
to want that. Just it's interdependent, opposed
Yeah.
to codependence. And
I guess
reliance.
the best way to put it is like I've put my puzzle together.
Yep.
I just need someone to frame it and chuck it on the wall for me.
Yeah, people can
Don't
be an
need you to put it
extension and
together for me.
accessory. You've
Yeah.
got it. Yeah, that's such a beautiful way of framing that, and you've clearly
Yeah.
done a lot of self work.
That's another pun. You didn't even know you made it. She said picture on the wall and you said framing
I heard it as I said it. I recognize.
Pick up on it. Oh my god.
My man, she's on fire.
So punny.
Fucking hell.
So much happening.
It's not even me. I think something has possessed my body. Probably
Yeah.
the alcohol that Nucci's not drinking.
Drinking.
Most likely.
Yeah.
But
But that's really huge.
we've got you. So married, split up, situationship,
situationship
Melbourne.
after some
Melbourne.
shitty relationship.
Yep,
Yeah,
Melbourne,
so
and then
toxic.
back with this dude
situation.
again. Was this in Melbourne or was this back home?
This
Wasn't
was
back
5
with any
years
dude.
later, so it was
So
here.
5 years later go.
No, I wasn't. So 5 years later, and then I
Yeah.
started dating. I wasn't with
Yeah.
any. Yeah,
So you didn't date that
for 5 years.
Which
Yeah.
was the time from 23
Okay,
to
sorry.
28,
I'm
and
with
now
you.
recently.
Yeah. So
started
23
dating.
situationship.
Mm.
Yeah.
Didn't date, and
And
then
are you still
28
dating
started
said person?
No, I've dated quite a few.
Humans in the
Yes,
time. Okay, so
yeah.
what happened to stop that when you like? What was happening in that time after the 5 years when you reunited?
I think I was in a better friendship group as well as just in a better mindset.
That helps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because obviously when I moved here, I didn't know a single person. So
Yeah, I resonate.
my life revolved around work, which meant my friends were from work, and then growing that circle outside of work made it much easier.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, every single one of my friends is married or engaged and has kids.
That's hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's
you don't
nice.
have that single
Yeah.
circle to really bounce off
Mm.
and go and do those sort of things
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
I remember my first, it was a Tinder date. I think it was the first year when I moved here. I was like, I'm just going to dabble. It was fucking horrendous. I don't know if I've
Had
told
Tinder
you
been around
this.
for a bit? You haven't when you started using it, or was it early Tinder days?
I don't know. What's
And you're probably
7
been
years ago?
around for a
I can't remember.
Yeah, yeah. That might have been
Well, they
when it just
look
came
back
out.
home. It's a
2018.
small town. You don't have
Yeah.
Tinder because everyone's someone's brother's cousin.
No.
So
Oh, shit, okay.
It's not.
you don't use it.
I'm sorry, I just realized I did really wrong math. I just can't be trusted with math. I'm just.
That's okay. We'll leave you with the puns though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm killing that at the moment, so that's fine.
So I went on this fucking horrendous date. We went to meet at a rooftop bar in the city, Cookie Bar.
Yeah. Oh,
Is
I've
that what
heard
it's
of
called?
that.
Cookie?
Yeah.
Cookies, yeah.
So I got there not knowing where the fuck I am. I got there early because I'm like, I need to figure out the city trams. Oh my God. Terrifying. Anyway, got off the tram, found this place, got to the rooftop, and he was almost an hour late. And I was already there early. So I'm sitting there going, I'm just going to buy myself some drinks. I'm going to eat. Fuck this. And then I'll go home.
How shit-faced were you?
Not shit
By the
faced
end?
enough.
Oh, okay.
I'll be
Fair
honest.
enough.
I should have had more. But then he got there, bought himself drinks. Obviously, I was already drinking. And then he was like, oh, do you want to get something to eat? Yeah, sure. We'll go get some burgers, whatever. But, oh my God. We got there and I ordered myself food. He didn't order a fucking thing. And then I had to pay for my own food, sit there and eat it in front of him.
And a burger too.
A
That's
burger.
like
And I, look,
Benici's
you know
don't
what?
ever
I-
eat that on a first date food.
Yeah, it was the sort
Why
of
not?
thing where
How can
It's
you
just so
politely
messy
eat a
and
burger
like-
in front of someone?
Yeah,
these
are you
ones,
supposed
these
to?
ones, I guess for
It's
me
just, it's
it was
probably not the best first impression.
Okay, but also
Yeah.
his first impression was being late.
yeah.
No, but
well,
yeah,
and this
yeah.
was this is my conclusion as well. I was like, you
I
know,
would have
fuck
burped
it.
in his face.
You know, I'm not the person to like tear a burger up and try and eat it. I was just like, I'm just gonna eat this thing. Who cares?
Yeah.
Not seeing this person again. And then by the time it finished, he was adamant that he wanted to go on another date, and I was just like, fuck no.
Nah.
I was so quickly running away that I got onto the wrong tram to go home.
Yes.
because I did not know where I was.
You know
Get me
what?
out.
Thank you so much for that offer. My tram is actually
I'm
running
actually going.
this time completely wrong way.
So anyway, got on the wrong tram, had to figure that one out. Navigated my way home and deleted the apps immediately. And that's kind of when I was like,
Oh, wow.
this is just too much for me. Like,
So
and I wasn't even
Probably
aware
weren't
of
in
the
the right
city
mindset
yet.
for it
Like I
too.
didn't
Yeah.
know what I was doing. So
So the first date put you off dating apps in general.
I think it was the
yeah.
whole moving but not having any
Yeah.
connections or any
It was
stability,
a
right?
combination of everything, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. But like the apps for me was like, okay, what's going on out there? What's available? But also, I don't know where I am. So, you know, you put your distance
Yeah,
to
yeah,
10
yeah.
kilometers, 50 kilometers. I'm like, sweet, where's Geelong? Down the road. Cool. Like, I don't know where
Yeah.
anyone is. And
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
these people would talk to you. And when you're not in the good headspace to be able to talk to these people, you just start saying shit. You just
Yeah.
don't know what you're saying anymore. And then I just got to the point where I was like, I don't like this. I don't like me in this. This is just not what I want.
Fuck me.
So you
It's very
Was
tumultuous.
I-
Sorry, I'm
I
tired.
boring
You
you?
know I'm tired. Stop making fun. Asshole.
No, you're fucking bored. Like seriously, get the fuck out of this.
hello.
Yes, I don't need to feel like just yet. I'm perfect. I'm actually all right. I'm exhausted.
It's been a long
Um,
day without caffeine.
Yeah.
Been a long
Dumb.
week.
So anyway, that turned me off.
Yes.
Dating for a long time. And,
And
then
so not just dating apps, that turned you off dating in general.
Yeah.
For 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And because I guess I worked in obviously I
Should've
worked in a
bought her a
cafe.
burger.
Yeah. Should have bought himself one. Should like eating by yourself at
It's
a
such an
date is
uncomfortable thing.
horrendous.
I would never do it.
Even just doing it with a partner that you do see, it's just like Fucking eat
Oh, I force food down their throat.
as you should. Very sensual.
How does that conversation go down? Like you're at the counter and you're like, "Did you order first? Is that
No,
why?"
he goes, well, what do you want? So I ordered.
Yeah.
And then
he made you pay.
And then
I'm
he
so
was
sorry. That's horrible.
But at the time too, I was like, I don't
For the
make any
lady,
money. Like,
what
oh my
will
god,
she
what am I gonna do?
Yep.
It
On
was,
you go.
Oh, it was horrible. And then he goes, oh, I'm probably not going to get anything. I'll just go get another drink. And then like walked off.
What a fuckwit.
So I'm like, okay, do I cancel this food? I'm so confused. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm actually fucking starving. You know what? Let's just eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, he didn't even grab a chip, which was kind of nice. But
That's
also-
good. At least you didn't have to share.
Yeah.
To be fair, if he's not paying, he's not sharing.
It's just interesting how like people. I would never like if we went and did something and you ate or whatever.
Yeah.
That would still be a weird flag. Like I'd at least be like, no, I'll
Why?
get
I
something
like to
small.
eat.
No, yeah, but I'd get something
for
small
yourself,
if we were
for
hanging
yourself,
Okay,
yeah.
out.
I'm
Still
understanding.
eat
I'm like,
something,
why
yeah.
would it be weird if I got food? I eat all the
No.
time in your
Cannot
presence.
eat around me
No.
if I'm not eating.
We would eat together
That
though.
sounds like eating dysmorphia and disordered eating. Thank you very much. We will eat together or we won't eat at all.
Yeah, you'd even just kind of grab something small, especially on something as important as a
Just get bowl of
first date.
chips or something.
Or
Like-
even just stay there. Don't get another fucking drink.
Oh.
Like that's
Or don't suggest
weird.
eating in the first place. It's
Or
probably
don't.
a good fucking-
What do you want?
Yeah,
What
do you want to
exactly-
eat? Cool. I'm going to go get a drink. See ya.
Yeah, the change of
So-
location was a good idea. If it was getting a bit stale, because a lot of people.
not under fluorescent lighting where burger places. Are.
yeah. I think I know.
Then
where
you
you're
can
going
see people
to.
in their full form, and you look like a little.
Oh, it was horrible. Ugh. Anyway, that turned me off.
Yeah.
Everything. For
So
a
then
while.
you're out for
But-
like 5 years.
But
Well,
then we
because
got
I
back to
worked
the
in a cafe,
situation.
I was
Yeah.
meeting people every
and
day,
nursing full time.
and I was nursing full time. So I was meeting people constantly. I was also exhausted.
Yeah.
And just trying to make my way in terms of cash, because obviously working full time and working 40-hour weeks plus another 40 hours on placement.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
You've got
and
no
it's not
time, let
sustainable.
alone no money, because you obviously can't. You don't get paid for placements.
Nope.
With
Oh,
How
nursing.
fucked
shit.
is it? Same
horrible.
for my placements
Yeah.
as well. None
Really?
You do
paid.
4 weeks at 40 to 50 hours, depending on what hours you're doing. And don't get me wrong, I loved parts of it, but I fucking hated it as well. Like my teachers were horrible. The girls that I went to school with weren't too bad. Like there was a few of my good mates, but there was also
The high school bitches.
yeah.
Like I was saying.
And I was one of
Yeah.
the older people in the class somehow as well.
So you're a
it
mature
was-
age. Well, mature
Yeah,
age.
at 24.
Yeah, but kids
It
do
was a
that
lot.
too. They act very weird when you're 18 first.
Yeah.
Super judgy to anyone that's not high school.
So that sucked.
Environment
But
to
I was
kinda go
meeting
into.
people through work, and unfortunately, a lot of people just don't understand space.
Personal
And
space or like,
like even just your work environment.
Yeah.
And you know, I can't leave if you come in and be a bit of a creep or ask me out or
Yeah, you
write
don't
me
have the
love
escape
letters.
Because that's what I was going to ask you. Like, given obviously the current workspace that you're in, how often is that a thing where like you'll try and get someone?
get your
Now
hey,
it's not too
sweetheart.
bad now that I'm out of the shops more. But
Yeah,
when I was there,
when you were there.
it was whether they would say anything or not, they would come in every day. So they might not ask you out every
Yeah.
day, but they would
Make a point
come
of
in
being
at
there.
the same time every morning or ask you when your next shift was.
Oh
and
my
they'd come
God.
in and then they'd stand there for 20 minutes talking to you. And you're in a rush on the coffee machine going, I'm just like an octopus making coffees.
Yeah.
I can't talk to you, but somehow we're having this mindless conversation. I had people write me love letters. I had
Oh my God.
I've had
Spill.
stalkers. I've had everything. Yeah, I've had a guy follow me.
She
to
has
my
a
car
question,
once.
but I want to know about the fucking love letter.
Okay.
Tell
I
me
don't
more
wanna
about
name
that.
him.
No.
No, you
Eduardo's
this-
love
the-
letter. Tell me. Tell me.
The context around that would be very interesting.
So
And the
he
tidbits,
was
what
he was
fucking
coming in
verbatim.
every day. He was coming in every day, and he's around about my age. So we actually quite okay friends now, so it's fine.
Ooh,
We had a good
shit.
chat, but he would come in every day, and he'd sit right next to the coffee machine. And
That's creepy.
one
a sense of
day,
hell.
one day it was just kind of like he'd just doing what he would normally do, just sit next to me on the coffee. Like I'm there, he's literally half a meter away from me.
Yes, the role
That's
play is
about as
great.
close.
Yes.
Yeah. That's about
Get
as
the mic
close.
and actually, can we do
well,
this?
I was going
Can
to say, because I really want to hear your customer service voice. That was going to be my
Yeah.
next question.
Oh,
so if
hospital
you can
voice,
put it
I
on.
That's
That's all right. Go.
That's
So you
good.
guys
It's
are
bad
at the
thing.
coffee shop.
No, there's no talking at
Yeah,
this
no.
point.
It's just
though.
creepy, like silent.
Oh,
No,
okay.
he's writing his letter with his back to me.
I love
He's
you.
Well,
writing
I'm
it there.
this
Dear,
close to me with his
dear
back. Like,
Becky
he's like
Moore,
this while
I
I'm
love you
working.
so much. You are the love of my life. I know we don't
still have
talk
the letter.
often, but I would marry you and I would give you babies. I would give a good family to you and we would raise the best children in the world and I could give you the life that you deserve because you're a
Oh, dear
princess.
Lord. Very similar.
I knew
I
it.
think I still have
Nailed
the letter,
it.
by the way, so I might have to send it to you. But
Please do.
I think I still have it because I was worried if I went missing, someone had to find it.
Oh my,
Oh my
god.
God.
And you're
No,
friends with this weirdo.
No, we're acquaintances. We know each other now. But
okay.
anyway, so
Okay.
it got to the point where I didn't realize he was writing a letter, let alone to me. But when he came up to the till to pay, he handed it to me and he was just like, use this whenever you want, and walked out. And I was
Use
like,
this.
what
Did
the
he
fuck
give you
does that
money?
mean?
Was it a check with money?
Probably his
in it?
number.
No,
Oh.
it was the letter with his number. And then not even a week later, I think that was the Friday, and then on Tuesday we went into lockdown and went into full shutdown. So we shut the shop for 3 weeks, so I didn't have to see him,
Nice.
didn't have to talk to him.
COVID actually saved you.
Relief.
Oh,
Yes.
it was a
COVID
bit of
saved my
relief.
dating life.
It was a little bit of relief. And then he would come in when we opened the shop again as takeaway, and we just wouldn't speak about it. It was just like this pure. I wouldn't even look at him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's, I mean,
but we're
fuck.
talking 3.5. Am I boring you?
I'm telling you, I'm tired. Stop.
But isn't it so much fun to just bully? No,
No,
I've
I'm
actually
sorry,
been
I
bullied in
won't
my
now,
own
I won't
house,
now.
guys.
you're doing good. You're doing good.
So yeah, he was coming in on and off, and we just never spoke about it. And what's it been since COVID now? 3.5, 3?
No,
It's like 2.
Three?
that's when it started though. But the end of it was in 2021, like around October,
Well, the
Yeah.
beginning of COVID. So
March
like,
or
since-
April 2020. So yep, 3
yeah,
years.
so 3 years.
Yeah.
So since then, we've had a lot of conversations, and we're very much on the same page now of where both of us stand, and
Good.
me too are people. So all good now. But I think I still have the letter.
I can't
I mean,
wait
I
if
would
you
keep
got
that
it.
just for
I
the
wanna
sake of
find it. I
keeping
think
it.
I
But
have it. No, I was worried that if something happened to me, that
you needed to
if
have.
someone
that
needed to know
for
what
evidence.
happened, I have a letter.
That is so concerning that you're acquaintances
Oh,
with this
it
person.
was- yeah.
Like that's a red flag. But
It's
sometimes
horrible.
keep them
He's-
close to not let them kill you, right?
Well, this is true. Kill me now.
Blink once if
but-
you're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start doing the hand thing. The hand signal.
We've actually had one of the Sober October boys jump
Is it
in
that one?
That one.
and make sure that
Yeah.
I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
Thanks for jumping in, Chris.
He's
I
not
do
drinking.
appreciate
Don't
it.
worry. He's being a little bitch.
There's- and a whole
but
bunch-
he's following
actually,
the
It's
rules.
a lot of tea.
The view account did just jump, so I'm guessing they're all jumping in to check to see if I'm not drinking.
He's being a
We
good
promise.
boy.
We're drinking
I'm-
it for him.
I'm completely
What
spun
is in
out.
the cup? It's tea.
Yep, there we go. Look at them. They're all coming on.
Show
It's
the
green
camera.
tea. It's green tea. I can't
is-
fucking. I don't know. It's
It'll
fucking
spill.
green. I don't
He
know what to
has
say.
genuinely not been drinking, but he has been watching me smoke at a distance. So,
It's been an experience.
Struggle.
I'm
It's
been
unhinged.
hurting
I'm
him.
not myself, and
also you'll
And
be
he's
seeing
falling
him
asleep on me.
yawning. So exactly, he's going
yeah.
through withdrawals
You missed me yawning, and then her getting upset, to thinking that she was boring.
for
I
the
mean,
second or third time
What
now.
does that say? Claw count.
Car
Yeah.
count?
The claw count. the girls' claw counts is collective
each.
4. Yep.
I'm on my
Collective 4.
Yeah.
I'm on my
Collective
third.
4, if you will.
We're
Fucking
on 5.
killing
No,
it,
we're on
Lil.
5. We're on 5.
Holy
'cause
shit.
I've had 3.
Oh,
Ah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that we started the party that early. Okay. Actually, I can't even judge. I was busy doing things.
I love reading these things. Anyway,
I wish my
people-
eyesight was that good. But now we're all supposed to identify and avoid certain toxic dating traits. But what are the red flags that you stay away from? We know the red flags you stay very close to in
Motherfuckers
proximity.
that write letters next to you while
And
you're
my
still
working.
I'm sorry, I can't get over that. But anyway.
we know that he's not going to try and.
Although, is it
kill me
kind
now.
of
Do we
sweet?
know that? Could that be his
Was
motive
it
to be
sweet?
an acquaintance?
Is it kind of
It
sweet?
was
A little bit?
terrifying.
Creepy.
Yeah.
And
It was
actually content
terrifying.
in like very vague terms. Was it what I said?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I can actually
Yeah.
top that too. So
Oh,
I know
you're
someone.
a weirdo is what
I know
you're saying?
someone.
You wrote the letter.
Oh, he was the one who wrote the letter, and before you even met him, actually.
I know someone that was a
Okay.
very good like illustrator.
Drawer, like
Illustrator, yeah.
yeah, that's what I mean. I'm
That's-
just clarifying if
yes.
that was what you meant.
Yeah. And they actually did a like a flip book of
Oh,
like this person seeing the girl, and then
Okay.
you would flip, and then it flipped to him asking the girl out
I mean,
and
that's
giving him her
cute,
his
but
phone
like
number.
creepy at the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I like the execution,
And it was done completely
but
anonymously, and she didn't know
That's
who
not
it
No,
was.
the anonymous thing's
'Cause
wrong.
it's way
That's
weird.
where that's
Wrong.
creepy because it's like, who the fuck just sent this?
Yeah.
Who has put this here? That is fucked up.
And it was
No.
it was in the middle of a love triangle in their workplace with her boss, and then this
All right, rule
this
number
person
one.
actually turned out to be an illustrator in the advertising company.
Rule number
which
one:
was
you don't date the street, you don't
hilarious.
date the shop. They're your
Yeah.
2 rules.
Wait, can you give me what the fuck is the street and the shop? This
Okay,
is
so
my
we've got a
first meta-
shop. You don't date your work colleagues.
but like most people tend to and then marry.
Yeah, no, they're fine. You don't need to. Not these
Okay,
ones.
so
Not these ones.
Those ones.
Not
Mm.
hospo.
I
Hospo.
used to work in hospo for about 5 years, so I agree with that.
Too, like it rotates.
It's
like there's the
circulate.
retention's
Yeah.
minimal. So
Right, so no
you
shop.
don't date the street, which means any customers that come in, because that makes it messy.
That makes sense because if they're coming in, they've
Right.
Wouldn't they
your
just
love
not come
letters
back
and-
though?
no.
No.
People like the familiarity and their routine.
The other
usually.
problem
Oh.
with this is if you date someone and you want to get rid of them, for instance, like you just tell them to leave. You're working, they know where you work, and if they don't want to leave you
Yeah.
They can
alone,
come
you
and
can't
hustle you.
escape it. And I've
Yeah.
had that situation as well. Like you can't actually leave that
very
spe-
corner.
Ames,
Yeah,
Ames and her
specific
staff
time.
get dudes that will come in, like they'll find the place
Yeah.
online,
Yeah.
and
It's
the
then
same
book
with
in
sex
treatments and
workers
be like
too.
super
Yeah.
weird.
Once a minute that they
Yeah.
like people, anyone like knows they'll come to their work. It's
Yeah.
really,
Mm.
really hard.
So you can't leave your space, but they can enter it. It's not like I'm coming into your office and being
Yeah.
like, hey, what are you doing?
You
all
want
the
to get
time?
away and they know.
You
so
can't
they can,
escape it. So
yeah,
they're
it's
my
fucked
2
up.
rules for anybody that
No
so,
street and no
feedback.
shop.
Don't date the street, don't date the shop.
Well, I have the ease in I can't fuck or date my client, so I'm in the clear.
We love this.
Any personal dating icks?
Mm-hmm.
Current
So you're on a
ick-
date with someone. They haven't
Oh.
written you any letters because you're fucking on a date.
Yep.
What
What's that?
irks you up the wall
And they were.
when they ask you to eat food?
So sorry.
If they don't eat food with
Yes.
me, if they
Yeah.
choose not to eat with me. Full-blown ick on this thing. Like, I don't know. I try
So
not.
you wouldn't
I-
say you don't have an ick. You're the only
no,
human
like
being.
if you come in and you tell me that I need to eat and you're not going to eat, that's an ick.
But
Yeah.
maybe
But-
not the first date because I find it's
First
actually
date,
harder
I'm trying
to
to,
kind of,
yeah,
I'm
I'm
getting
trying
to
to
know
So
meet
I'm-
people, and it takes me. I'm the sort of person that will look at everything and observe everything, but I'll take it home and
really
process it
sit with
later.
myself.
loud eater and bad
until-
teeth will kill it for me.
What is it? Sorry.
Loud
Bad
eater and bad teeth.
Bad teeth. Yeah.
What do
I
you
do like
constitute
straight
as
teeth.
bad teeth though? Because I actually like. I have this weird thing with teeth.
Did
I
everyone
kind of
just look
don't
at each other's teeth just then?
My teeth are fucking amazing.
Mine are really small, like objectively, they're kid teeth. But I like really, it's weird. Every
They
partner
really are
that
small.
I've
I've never
had
noticed that
always
before.
has like a weird teeth element to them. Like my
Yeah.
first ex had like this really cute little snaggle tooth that was a bit forward, and I actually thought he was I thought it was one of his endearing traits because
Yeah.
his smile was beautiful.
No, I
Every
couldn't handle
person
that
I've
shit.
dated, their smile has been gorgeous.
One of the most attractive girls in our year level had a snaggle tooth, and everyone was like, "She's so hot." I'm like, "No fucking way, dude."
But it has
And
to
this
be
is me
a
at 120
specific
kilos,
thing
man.
about
Like,
someone too, though. You
can't.
can choose not to like. Well, you can't choose what you're attracted to versus
Yeah.
not. But like, I find teeth
And
can
how they
be a
treat
really
wait
big
staff
make
is
or
massive
break.
for
So
them
you're
too.
right.
How they
That
treat
yeah,
wait
that's
staff is
huge. Because
big.
if they're an asshole like my mum,
Yeah.
terrible with wait staff, and she's dating. My mum has dated someone that's worked in hospital for over 20 years. She still treats wait staff with disrespect.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I think when probably my own fault. Whenever I go on a date, like first date, I'm usually the one who picks like a bar or something. So it's never you're not really having those interactions with a wait staff. So I
Yeah.
don't find that on the first, maybe the second date. But I'm also the person that's like, I'll order for the table. So I'm the one who always does the bloody ordering. Because I'm like, yeah, you like this, and this. I'll just order everything. So
And how do
That's
you
nice.
men
Take that.
receive that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you
I
date
think
women as
in
well,
the
women.
beginning, no, just
Yeah.
men for me. But they.
I don't want to make
No,
assumptions.
I love when you do that shit.
It's good.
And then like the
You have
person
to
doesn't respect
clarify
it, and they're
it.
like, "Just
No,
Just dick. I'm good.
I've actually been told, one of my friends, Claire, she loves this.
you've got massive bull D."
No, she's
Vibes.
like, you are the straightest female that I know. And I'm like, cool, I'll take that. I think I'll take that. Yeah, no, so most don't take it badly.
Yeah.
I think they, I think guys, from my own experience, they don't like people who are indecisive, and I'm not a very indecisive
No, you're
person.
very-
I'll
I know
pick
what
the
you
place,
want,
the
yeah.
time, the whatever. I also
Yeah.
like to have someone make those decisions off their own bat as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I find that to be really hard to find in certain people. That's a bit of an issue. But for myself, I'm a very decisive person, so I will lead with certain things like that.
Can I ask how that impacts your dating life more generally? So what kind of people are attractive that you attracting or actively dating?
I'm attracted to people with the similar work ethic, I guess. And by that, I also mean like in life, they're just very
Gotta have shit going on.
yeah, like
busy.
need to be busy, needs to be
Passionate
like,
and
they
motivated,
don't have to be
probably.
successful in what they're doing, but they need to have drive
I'm
and
big on that as well.
ambition. And you know, I've recently been dating someone, not anymore, but he was actually busier than I am, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
And
You've met your match, sir.
I was gonna
It
say, so
was-
you got like a 2-minute brief in a day?
Literally, it was like, let's go for a 7:30 a.m. coffee because that's the only time we're
That's
gonna
probably
get
the
this
earliest date I've ever heard of.
But you know what? The
That's
part for
so
me was
early.
that we both said we're not going to see each other this week. This is the only time we can actually make for each
But
other.
that's
Let's
kind of
make
great.
it.
But I love that communication style as well of
Yeah.
we're both busy. How can we negotiate time to
How are we
spend
gonna do
together?
this?
That's kind of really great.
Yeah. So I think I am attracted to those sort of people.
Yep.
I attract anything which shits me, and that sounds really ego driven, but unfortunately it's true. But
I think that's most girls though. Like if you pay attention to it, you'd realize like that there's quite a large breadth of like, why the fuck? No, dude. No. But then it's like, that just happens. It's just part
it's
of.
a great segue to the city spoon.
Unfortunately, yeah, definitely. So yeah, whilst we're talking about it, right? We had a massive event a few weeks ago. That was the 300-person City Swoon event. So you guys will remember we had them on probably about 4 or 5 episodes ago. We had Chris come down, and myself and James helped host, and friend of the show Raz and Bec went as daters.
Oh, Bec.
Whoa, dude.
No, I like like zoned out, and then I'm like, which Bec? And then like, I'm so
Not
sorry.
that Bec.
No, you're Becky Moore to
swivel
me.
chair happening again. All right, that's me.
So they went to this 300-person dating event.
Rebecca Moore.
And
How
you were
dare
plonked
you
in the what age group?
I went in the 32
30.
to 42
Yeah.
group.
Ooh, I like that. I love older men. Yeah.
Well, I find that my mental dating capacity I can't do younger than myself, and that's purely
'cause
for
they're all
all the
stupid.
things that I've just sort of mentioned as well. They don't really have their
No
heads
brain
switched
cells.
on.
That
Yeah,
too.
not yet.
And the format of the evening was 5 dates.
5 dates, although no, it was 6. It was
6 dates
6.
at
I
8
got
minutes?
5 though,
Okay, yeah. She got sad on the first round.
which was actually kind of nice. I could observe everything.
You do prefer to observe.
I
Makes
love to
sense.
observe things.
It was
so
such a because it was so big. It was such a weird
It was
vibe
so weird.
of
I
300
really
people.
do want to go. I think it would be very fascinating to
Yes.
just.
Yeah.
Well, next time I work, you can just come and hang out in the bar.
Yeah.
Can I serve at the bar?
No, because it's in bars. Like they'll have it inside a bar that will
I
have
have
bar
no
staff and
say.
stuff. No, but like they don't own the bar. Like they'll go to like
okay,
30
they're just
Dirk
working
or
within the space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They hire out.
So
that
you
spot.
literally just come and hang out.
Boring, but I will hang out. Yes. Sorry, continue. So you were sitting out and you got sat out for the first one, but you had 5 dates otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm about to sneeze if it happens.
That's all right.
I don't.
Look at the light.
So walk us through your first date.
First
'Cause
date.
this one wasn't too bad.
First one was the stone teacher.
Yeah.
I love that.
From Brunswick teacher.
course,
He
say no more.
was very stoned and loving his life. Just couldn't really put words together into like a full sentence. And every time he asked me a question, it was almost like he's just asked me the same question in a different way.
Aw.
But he was just really like, cool, dude. Like,
It's really great that you're sharing the same piece of information.
yeah,
with
I think
5
that was the
different
first one.
ways.
It feels like so long ago now.
Yeah.
There was that one. I know. I don't remember the order of them, but anyway, that was the first one I can remember.
Yeah.
The next one was I don't know any of their names. I
That's fine.
apologize, but he was very chatty and very confident, but you could
Aw.
tell he had anxiety about the
So
whole scenario.
nervous kind of chats.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he asked me about what I do or what my job is, and I started talking, and then he does this. It's going to stop you right there.
Whoa, red flag.
And then starts talking about himself about that question. And
That
I'm
isn't
sitting
it.
there like, when the fuck is this going to end? That one
That's so
actually,
crazy.
that
the
one.
hand is just.
Oh, and it was so close to my face. I just wanted to lick his hand to make him
Oh
uncomfortable.
my
I was like,
god. Yeah, you should have. Please
thought
do
about
that
it.
next time.
Intrusive
That's
thoughts.
hilarious. You need to act on them sometimes. It's the
I,
only way people learn.
I can't believe that something so like almost cartoon like. That was like a
Yeah.
sitcom. Like
yeah.
Were you watching that as
the-
it happened?
No,
okay.
I was getting abused by someone who called the experience racist. But,
Oh yes, of course.
We'll get to that one
yeah,
too.
yeah.
That one should be safe at last.
So you're two in. You're two in now.
So that was my second one I can remember. There was
a tall guy.
The tall
nice
guy. He was lovely. Don't get me wrong, but we kind of met in the middle of all of our dates, and we were kind of talking about how crazy the whole scenario felt.
So
and
it was like
it wasn't really a conversation. It was just like, oh my god, like,
decompression session.
let's just talk about this. What's happening? And then
That can be bonding too. That's a very good.
yeah, and
idea.
he ended up messaging me afterwards. But at that point, I think I was already talking to someone, so I didn't want to play that game.
Yeah.
But you actually had to come and tell us that the time was up to
Yes.
move on. That's how that conversation was going.
Okay.
So it was good chat. One of my next ones. Which one?
You can do the guy that was
McDonald's.
outside.
McDonald's
first
are
if you-
racist. McDonald's.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it was, but it was almost like every single guy had this cue card to ask what you do.
Yeah.
And every single one did. So we were sitting outside because it was a bit quieter. And first thing he asked was, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I own cafes, blah, blah. And I never specify because it seems really intimidating for guys.
Yeah.
So I never specify how many or where they are or anything like that. I'm just like, oh, I own a cafe or
Ignore that, I'm just
and
writing those for myself.
he's like, oh, so like what, McDonald's McCafe? Like, I'm so insulted. I didn't know what to do.
Did you not
I
just
was-
intimidate him and go, actually, no, it's 4 fucking businesses?
I've had to like check myself because I'm like, no, you're not even interested in this person. Is it worth your time?
You're giving them so much benefit of the doubt. That's 100% to everyone listening. For someone to be so far off the mark with something that's so obvious and basic, you could probably hold that against them as being
But it
not
was
your
also
person.
not my space to do that. And
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
this
yeah.
is where my head always goes is like, is this worth my fucking oxygen?
Yeah.
Probably
Mm.
not. Is it worth me getting upset and needing a beta blocker?
Oh
Probably
my God,
not.
take them as well.
Oh, they're so good.
How good are they?
I wish.
Like I've taught myself these sort of scenarios, and I guess that's working with people every day. Is like, is this worth
Yeah.
your time?
Yeah.
No fucking way. Just let it go.
A good tip to people listening though, with things like when it gets into like the questions or the interview is what a lot of people call it.
Yeah. It
A
was an
really
interview.
easy thing if you're really nervous and you don't know what the fuck to ask is you would take a basic question like, what do you do? And you would simply change into something
What
like,
are you passionate about?
you look like you would
Oh.
do X, Y, Z.
But
And then have
then
a
it
chat
gives them the
about what
opportunity to
vibe from
correct
them.
it.
Although-
people can get offended, but then you know that this
But it's a
person can't joke
conversation
around.
too.
Speaking
They
about
change
being
it up.
offended though,
Mm.
same sort of topic.
Yeah.
When the next person,
Yes.
this is one where I get called a racist.
Yes.
He asked me what I do. I told him what I do, and I was like, "What do you do? What do you think I do?" And I'm like,
Takes my advice. I love it.
like,
Good
you
man.
know, reverse.
I was like, well, the one before him said he was in finance. The other one said he was like, or something. I was
So
like,
business.
I'm
It's
just
a
going to go
speed
with
dating event.
finance. I'm
Yeah.
just going to
Yeah.
go, like, everyone here is wearing a bit of a suit. They all seem a bit corporate. I'm just going to say finance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was this Asian guy. It was lovely, but
Was he? Because he.
not until this, up
Yeah.
until this point. So I was like, I don't know, maybe something to do with finance in an office. He goes, just because I'm Asian doesn't mean I'm good with money. And I was like,
Actually,
I
it's
don't
about
know
numbers that you'd be
how
good
to-
at if we're really going to
I
go with
don't
the
know where
fucking
to go from
stereotype.
here. Like, I'm just a bit, now I just sat there in silence, waiting, like kept checking my watch, going, fucking hurry up, send the text. And the way that he said it was just like so demeaning. Like, I'm just sitting there going, I
But
don't know,
what
I
was he
don't know how to come back from
expecting?
that.
If you're asking, what do you think I do?
Yeah.
You're only there able to
Yeah.
make assumptions based on the environment
Yeah.
around you and the
Exactly.
person that's presented before you.
It's
Yeah.
the chip on the shoulder. And one thing I did
Yeah.
notice with that whole environment was there a lot of people coming into these things with a massive chip on their shoulder and in a very aggressive mind state, which
you
was
did mention
really
it was quite an
it
aggressive
took me
energy.
back a bit.
Yeah.
Because it was like there's nerves, which is fair
Yeah,
enough.
of
That's
course.
totally fine. But there is a very clear and quite big line between being nervous and then being quite aggressive
But
and
anxiety does present as anger
yeah.
Yeah, or
in many,
aggression,
many ways,
yeah.
particularly if you're someone that's already anxious and maybe
Yeah.
if you were anxious a little bit just generally about the event or even the stuff around you, you're more likely as a man to perceive neutral faces as aggressive as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
But one thing that's I would stress to guys,
But I would
in
agree
these
with the energy. It
situations-
sounded
yeah,
like it was
Yeah.
quite
you need to be
intense.
aware of that and understand that you're dating.
Oh, they were
If you're dating
vultures.
women,
Oh,
yeah,
big
if you're
time.
dating women, you probably need to soften a bit because
Think
that's
about survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
You are technically
Yeah.
competing though, so
Yeah.
of course people are going to be more aggressive and territorial because it's
That's
like
true. I
I need
didn't
to
think about it like
fight
that.
to be the attractive one, the better one, the one that's going to stand out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it almost instantly increases testosterone, which is a marker
Yeah.
for aggression.
Yep.
So naturally, there's going to be more testosterone in the room.
Yeah.
Everyone who's sweating is nervous. Sweat is producing more testosterone through
Yeah.
pheromones. And what is that doing? It's either attracting people or it's completely repulsing them because when you hit a threshold of aggression,
You
I've been
start
doing a lot of
smelling sweaty.
evolutionary psych at the moment.
Yeah,
Been
good.
reading so much. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating. I don't remember the tangent, but I need to pee.
You gonna pee? All right.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Did say I needed to.
I usually cut
What
the
are
recording,
these
but I'll keep
comments?
going. Oh, it's just the guys. You haven't met Bevan, but you've met Chris. Thank you, Bevan. I love you. He's very unprofessional. It'll be when we were talking, so you'll miss. If you don't catch it when it happens, sometimes you're like, oh, what the fuck are we talking
No, I
about?
was watching it the whole time. That's why I look like I'm looking at that.
How rude. I keep forgetting that's been highlighting all the text there. So that I saw when I was typing, you guys are like, what are you doing? I'm like, that's just the note.
Oh, I haven't been. I can't read it.
Okay, dude.
Like I'm looking, not actually paying attention to it. Your chairs are very squeaky.
That
Yeah,
one
it sounds
specifically.
like I've been farting all evening.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
Every
I'm
time
not farting, I promise.
I might try to get comfortable.
All right.
We're good.
And
We're back. I'll accept my buttons.
we're
on
back. It's all right.
Extra
The viewers will
It's
fucking
getting hot in here.
have a good show.
I'm not taking
All right, so we're
any
back.
of
We were
my
talking
clothes
about
off.
you being called a racist.
Yes.
And the
how-
dating scene, as well
Speed
as
dating,
the
yeah.
aggression. But this
Yeah.
is your final one. So after you had made the really racist comment that you did, and you sat in silence for a bit, what happened? Did you just wait for the time to go and then that was it, or did he kind of try to provoke more conversation?
He tried to have more of a conversation with me, but
Yeah.
with that, it felt very forced. He could tell that he kind of fucked up,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I don't think he understood how he fucked up with what he said.
Yeah.
And because
Was he trying
I
to be
didn't-
funny? Do you reckon?
No, the way
Yeah.
like it wasn't.
genuine?
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a funny haha joke.
Okay.
It was like a.
Could
Yeah,
he have been
yeah.
deadpan though? Like, you know how some people like, I'm one of these people. I'll be really deadpan and then
Yeah.
someone will think I'm being serious and then I have to explain to them that I'm joking and they're offended.
No, I feel like nah. I don't know, and I think that's because from everything that he said afterwards, it was kind of like he was trying to overcompensate
Yeah,
for what
okay.
he'd already done, but at the same time, he knew that I just wasn't having a bar of it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't doing it for me. So, but by the end of that one, the face palm, the stone teacher, the other one, the McDonald's guy.
Yeah.
All four of them asked me for my number by the end of those
Okay.
chats.
Yeah.
Mind you, you're not supposed to ask for phone numbers.
Yeah,
during
so
Okay, so
and
that's
I
kind of the
was
rules.
very aware of this, so I'm like, you get to message on the chats
Yeah.
if you want, and I won't respond. But I'm still a polite person, so at the same time, I'm like, you've just been an absolute asshole, but I'm not going to make you feel like you've got a chance.
Yeah.
But I'm also not going to shut you down right here and now and
Yeah.
make you feel like an even bigger asshole.
Yeah.
So it's just not who I am. But I didn't respond to it.
Oh, you actually gave him your real number. You didn't go the one digit off.
No. The
Message
I
thing.
didn't give them any numbers.
Oh,
Nobody
good.
got my number.
So okay, good. Smart move.
I was surprised that you didn't give the last guy your number. It sounded like he really
Was
Impressed
really
you.
into the situation.
Well,
he made a lasting memory.
Speaking
Yeah.
of lasting memory, was when we all left at the end. Once the little dates were done, we all went and sat out the back in the little smoker's
I
den
did hear about this.
while there was
yeah.
nobody else there, and every single one of the vultures came out. And this is why I call them
Yeah.
the vultures.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It sounds terrible, and
no,
That's
it's
true.
not same
Yeah.
one,
but
same
they
one.
all of them came past while we were all sitting as a group out the back, and all tried to
Sweet.
join and tried to be a part of it, but wouldn't get the hint when we were like, oh, sorry, there was literally no seats at one point, and people would be waiting for someone to leave to go to the bathroom to take a
Oh.
seat.
and because it was all the staff
That
outside,
really do be a vulture situation.
It was really
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
we were like to them. We like, dude, there's like 250 or whatever, half of 300
People out there go
single women in there.
try.
You should go inside and talk to them. Like it's
Yeah.
80% staff out of here,
Mm.
without being like,
And partnered
Yeah.
staff, mind you, too, right?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Go inside, give it a crack, like make the most out of
Yeah.
it, and like just kept coming back.
Oh,
back.
They just,
Alright.
it's
It
like
was-
they needed to take like the deli ticket and come back with when the ticket's been
Oh,
called.
gosh.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Like, have you called
So-
this number yet? I'm still here.
But the good
Yeah.
the good thing
So
I
no.
think with City Swing going forward is they are looking at ways of helping people kind of understand kind of where they're going wrong and stuff, and
Yeah.
how to kind of improve on it. And the good thing was on a couple of the events I'd run, a couple of guys had asked me for advice and stuff, so it was
Yeah.
really easy to help them on the spot.
Nice. Yep.
But I am
Did you give
noticing
them
stuff.
the link to the podcast? Because if not, that's an opportunity next time you need
No,
to
I
be
did.
taking.
You got cards?
And I do have
Yes.
cards.
I was gonna say I knew his face would like light up
when
instantly.
you know when you give them their free drink ticket.
Yeah.
Give
That's
them
really
a
good.
card.
Actually,
I'll have to
that's
talk to
not
Chris
a
first,
bad-
'cause that's pretty fucked up
no,
if I
just
don't.
do it in the
No,
Oh,
no,
it's not
no.
like
I like
you're,
Chris
it's not.
Tyler.
You're not like take over what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's sort of
You're giving
Complimentary.
an addendum.
You're like,
of
and then
advice.
just write on there which episode it was about city swoon and be like,
Not
oh, you've got to go into that
bad.
one.
Yeah.
See, I'm good at this.
Unless it's that guy that we're talking about now, then don't give.
One thing though is they were a little bit against of advice on the night. Like they would
Advice?
ask for advice.
Oh,
They were
yes,
against advice. So they would get the advice and then be like, oh no, but just I feel like, and then they would just.
But
roll
people
into
do that.
whatever.
People
Yeah.
act like they want to hear what you want to say, but really they want to vent
Yeah.
and they just want to be confirmed in what they're saying.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Literally, all of them were like, "I just need a bit of advice on." And then I was like, "Okay, that's it." And
Yeah,
the
but
hardest
people
part was
don't
like
want
talking
advice.
to them. I'm like, me trying to talk to you is a bit of a struggle. So could you imagine if I was a girl and I
Yeah.
liked you? Like
I
I'm
think that's a very hard thing to
Yeah.
imagine. I don't want to imagine you as a girl. or anything. Like that's a very hard visualization, I'm afraid. You're a very beautiful man, but I don't think you make it very beautiful
yeah.
with polite.
But did you have fun? Was the main part about
That-
the
I
series.
had a good night. Don't get me wrong, and
It
it
was
was
a lot of
nice
fun.
for me to honestly be in an environment that I wouldn't normally put myself into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to people that I normally probably wouldn't speak to
Yeah.
either. Also people that wouldn't approach me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's something I took from it. It was like all these people were so anxious to talk to me that they probably wouldn't approach me in a normal
Yeah.
dating environment.
Mhm.
They'd probably happily be keyboard warriors on
Yeah.
dating apps, but
Yeah.
in real life, I don't think that would be the case.
It's nice that there was an opportunity for that then.
Yeah, and I think for me, it just kind of reaffirmed what I want to get out of somebody else as well. Like, I don't want for the first conversation starter point be, what do you do?
No, that's a
Like,
big one.
like, for
Don't
me,
interview.
it's
Find a
like,
new
So
line.
everyone, listen,
Yeah,
everyone
just,
listening knows that by now.
you know,
We're not
Yeah.
doing interviews.
Crack a joke or even just speak about the situation that you're in. Like
Yeah.
bonding over a mutual thing, like you said
Yeah.
before, is actually a really good way to do it. Like this is a bit crazy. I'm a little bit nervous. Like, how are you finding this? Is a
Yeah.
great way to
It's really good.
It's authentic as well if you are feeling anxious, that is. If you're
Exactly.
feeling really confident, I mean, by all means say that. But like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Even just talking about shit that's happened to you on the way in, like
Yeah.
some weird, that's just
Yeah.
basics, man.
The
Like
tip
the Uber
is
driver, oh my
personal,
god, the
not
Uber driver,
personal.
and then everyone's
Yeah.
on about the Uber driver. And it's like so less personal and
Yeah.
intimidating. It's comforting and
You don't
But
even need to
yeah.
interview. But so we're digressing away from you and more onto the city swing stuff. So we'll bring it back to you. So how are things going at the moment?
Dating wise.
What? Yeah. How is dating at the moment? Are you off dating? Are you on dating? How are you in? Are you agnostic?
as of today, off dating.
Yeah. You hanging up the boots for a bit.
For now, yes. I've got a trip to Byron in a few weeks, and I'm just kind of hanging for that and just going to
Yeah.
focus on me and that trip
Yeah,
until then. But not shutting myself off. But as of today, I am not seeing anyone, dating anyone. Unfortunately. But yeah, it's been a bit of a weird 6 months, I guess. Guys don't seem to know what they want until right in front of them, and then they don't want it.
Isn't it like the taxi cab theory?
No, what is this?
So
I'm
taxi
listening.
cab theory, and you know what? It fucking stands. So it first came out in Sex and the City, like in 1999.
Yeah.
But it's
It's a great show.
dudes will drive along most of the time with their taxi light off, whether they have girls in there or like other things. It doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
And off
But
means not in
Off
service.
means not interested.
Yeah.
But there is a point in time when they are ready to settle and do the things, and the light goes on, but they will settle for anyone when they're ready. And that is the only time that a man is actually willing to commit, when their button comes
When
off.
the
So
light's on.
and then it's urgent. It's like, I need to get married, I need to have kids, I need to do this.
Really?
And I've seen that consistently. Dudes are always arming and ahhing and unsure. And then you'll see maybe it's the next partner that they have or the next few
We've
partners that they
spoken
have. And then
Yeah.
it's like, because like for me, if you've seen Good Luck Chuck, that's how I used to perceive myself. I'm like, every dude that I fuck like crazy then gets fucking married or engaged or has a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck? Why is this the thing that then, you know, makes them finally realize what they wanted? And then they're like, oh,
Yeah.
you deserve someone that's going to give you the world. It's like, I was that person that was
Yeah.
going to give you the world. So
I thought
what
we
the
were
fuck's
on
up?
the same page.
Yeah. But it's a taxi cab theory. It's literally when the biological clock or the thing in their brain ticks off when they're ready, that's when they commit. Or if they're forced into a situation, but that's coercive. So I wouldn't claim that to
I
be the
wouldn't
case.
have that as like.
It's more just
gospel,
the
yeah.
natural instinct for it to go off. Whereas women tend to be more selective. We want to think about our potential because we think, you know, evolutionary speaking again,
Yeah.
a provider. You want someone that's going to have providing resources, not just on the economic scale of things, but the caretaker side. I'm going to look after you. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to make sure that you and potential kids are going to be looked after and
Yeah.
well cared for. And so we do have to be more selective, whereas men are, I'm looking for the next best thing until, oh, now I'm ready to settle because all my friends are now getting married, so now I'm going to do that because I have to, because all my mates are no longer partying, and now I'm going to be that weird, creepy dude that just wants to fuck lots of people.
Yeah, look, that
and we know what that looks like.
Whilst that can be most guys,
it's not all by
it's
any
not all
means.
guys. Yeah.
And that is just coming from an evolutionary perspective, and we've
you can say the same about women as they get older
that.
as well.
Yeah, well,
They will
women
just find-
do that too, and they settle because humans like to settle because they have a
Yeah.
fear of being alone, because we naturally are desired and wired to pair bond.
Yeah.
And not always in a monogamous sense, but majority of us do, especially in westernized cultures. Yeah. And that's my TED talk.
No, but it was quite funny because we spoke about this good luck chuck stuff previously, and the same thing happened to me too with girls and stuff. Like they date me, and then the next guy that they would date
And
would
it's
be
like,
the guy
what
they
the
get married
fuck?
to.
Why is that the one? I'm actually very curious about the phenomenon.
Ironically enough, I didn't really take it personally. I looked at it as like them being, it hurts,
of course,
right?
Naturally.
But I looked at it as if these people were in that space where they were looking to settle down.
Yeah.
And I was like almost there with that sort of headspace thing, but just wasn't quite there. And that's I'm glad that they've kind of realized that, and you're not in those weird relationships where you've gotten married and it wasn't quite right.
That too, like you're showing them that is something that they could want, but they're realizing it's not the right fit. And I think you can look at it from that objective sense, and it's very beautiful in that way. But I mean, I still have a bit of bitterness towards a lot of ex-partners that have done that. So.
But that's why I do it, because it's more. Do you want to move the mouse? It's safer for you. Do you know what I mean? Mentally, than to be like, oh, there's something wrong with me because all these people I've dated and stuff get married afterwards and stuff.
Positive for someone.
Say
who's
that
very
was the reality, which is probably
negatively.
not. It's just not going to serve you any purpose moving into this pool again to be like, well, the next person's just going to fucking date the next person, marry them. Like
you just got to wait for the pool. You are in the right dating age bracket right now where people are actually very, very best. So if you are dating your age and older, you are actually very likely to meet a partner within the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Objectively.
Yeah.
Because 30s are usually that age. Women generally from the ages of 27 to 30 are in their prime, both childbearing years, but also marriage years. That tends to be when people partner up. But 30 to 35 is that really secure age where divorce rates are lower often, and people are more stable.
You don't take so much shit.
No, you kind of have a sense of identity. Like, I've lived a life. I'm now ready to start making life or moving forward.
Yeah, I feel like that's where I'm at the moment. It's just I won't sit there and I value communication. If you're not going to communicate with me,
fuck it. Why bother?
That's a boundary of mine that I'm not going to.
Yeah,
sort of
and that's it's good that you had the balls to make the call too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
because it's rough. Like a lot of people would be like, oh, look, it's maybe just a bad time. And still a bad time.
For his situation, it makes sense that it's a bad time. And I'm, of all people, I understand it. I'm busy as well. And
look, that's true.
It was a situation where there was no reason he couldn't contact me.
Yeah. And I'm just a big proponent of, I want to be the reason someone makes an effort to message.
I know, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. And I want to be...
It's actually me.
that person that makes the effort, have the person make the effort to speak to me.
Yeah.
Because that way, they're invested and they're on board.
If they're making an effort, I feel like people always know when someone's vested in them though.
I'll put it this way, it's like if Brad Pitt fucking messaged you, Angelina Jolie, mate, I don't give a fuck if I'm going to Mars next week. I'm like, sorry, just literally, this
I'm
is
going
the
to Mars
day.
next week, but I'm happy to chat until then.
Yeah, but even here's a photo of the shuttle, I will be back. This will happen. I want that. Do you know what I mean? And I've always strived
if people
for that.
want to, they'll make it work, and I think that's the important thing. And also, if it feels clunky, it shouldn't be feeling clunky. I think a lot of people tend to go into this space. A lot of relationships, even situationships and partnerships that I've experienced, even very recently, they felt clunky for a reason. They are not matched in synchrony. When people are matched in synchrony, it's effortless, it's natural. You start to observe and take things from this person. It really is an effortless process. So when things are clunky at the start, that's fine because that's when people are adjusting to each other's rhythms. Yeah. But if it is still clunky after a significant portion of time, i.e. 3 months, it's not going to work out because the clunky nature of it should be synchronized at that point.
Or synchronizing, at least. You see
things
the flow,
are starting
things
to
are starting
have flow.
merge,
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and this one was very early days still. So we're talking a month.
Yeah, but
But
I
at the
think part
same
of
time-
it,
But
because
you'll
you are
also
so
know
driven.
if it does work, yeah, and you can bypass that quickly because you have the efficiency.
I don't have the need to, I don't need to be courted. I don't need to have like all these fucking, you don't have to go buy me flowers, and I love the dinners and I love
But that's still
to
great. Like,
spend
don't
time
write
with
that
each
shit
other.
off.
Those
Like,
are
that's
beautiful
awesome.
things, but it's not necessary.
It's not necessary for me to know that somebody's interested in me. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
My values are literally communicate and spend time with me. They're the only two things that I really openly want out of a relationship.
Saying, I'm really interested in you. How can we make it work?
Yeah,
Where's the time?
I don't need you to buy me shit. I can buy myself shit.
Yeah,
I resonate.
I
with that
don't
very
need
deeply.
you to buy me a holiday. I can buy myself a holiday. Like,
Do
I
the
don't
things
need
for me
shit.
that I don't have access to that you can actually meet me
Exactly.
on. Yeah, I get it.
I don't care. And also flowers die, so I'd prefer a
Flowers
plant.
do die. That's
Prefer a plant over
Oh, I
flowers.
can't keep those alive either. So to be fair, no.
And it's harder to have plants delivered than it is flowers. There's way more
Oh,
flowers.
I had a guy figure that out from New Zealand.
If they can, they will.
Don't get me
Jesus
started.
Christ.
He figured that one out.
So I
Still
guess
alive, by the way.
I like that. Damn, nice. I like
not
that.
like the relationship. No, I'm kidding.
No.
The good part about, I think, where your head's at currently is because you're in that space with business and everything else is pretty much all your ducks are in a row and you know what you want.
Yeah,
from
and I've got
day to
amazing people in my life that can,
Yeah.
I don't feel lonely. I don't feel by myself in any situation or scenario. I know I've got the people around me that I need. My family's there if I need them, but I just want that extra piece.
Yeah,
that's perfectly
to
normal.
add to that, like,
and it's probably the most healthiest response I've heard on our pod. Like,
By
you've done
far,
seriously, like you've done the work, and just hearing about like the 5-year stint, like I think ballsy as shit to be moving down with nothing other than a job security like that's placed for you.
Yeah,
you wouldn't have had any prioritization there for a relationship anyway because you just focused on survival mode. But you're very headstrong. You know what you want, and the fact that you're not settling for less is amazing. And the fact that you're prioritizing yourself, your career, and your longevity, like it's such a rare thing to hear that from someone. So it's really admirable.
That's a very fucking astute observation.
Thank you. I'm really good at giving compliments.
I don't have words for that.
No, and it's, I think that's going to set you on the right track. That's why with all this sort of stuff with the dudes that are decisive and shit, I wouldn't be worried.
No, I think for me at the moment, it's just learning how to communicate that to them.
Yeah.
And if
I think you got that nailed too.
Well,
that text message was on point.
Oh, I want to read these now.
No, I don't want to.
Not right now. No, not right now.
But no,
direct
it's
is the
literally
point,
just learning how to put my words into words, like what my thoughts are. Because at the end of the day, I still sit at home and go, "Why the fuck is he not messaging me for 3 days? And why am I going through all these fucking cycles of things?" And I've got my people that I talk to about that, and I feel for them, and we're all on the same page. Like one of my best mates is going through exactly the same thing, the same, like a similar situation with her guy, and it's like we can sit there and just absolutely divulge into these conversations without having to go, I need to send this message, when it's like, well, you don't need to send these messages. That's me 10 years ago sending this stupid message that's going to get a shit response, and I'm going to hate myself for it, and I'm going to be apologizing for a week. What is the fucking point in it?
That's a fucking
very
it just doesn't make sense
Yeah.
to me. Like, but that was me 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so
Would
you have
just
the
be
insight to be
really
able to provide
impulsive.
that out though. And at the same time, like we all do want validation and connection. So it is upsetting when someone is ignoring us because people can and do find the time.
Yeah.
And they can.
Yeah.
I think that's the hard thing as well to receive.
I hate the saying that if they want to, they will.
Yeah.
It is. And
that's what I was alluding to before. It's like people will move mountains to be with someone they genuinely want to be with.
I would say that though with a grain of salt. And the only reason I say that is because a lot of people, both in my personal life that I've seen, but also in clients, the process, like my current relationship is a great example, was like pulling teeth. It's been very fucking slow.
Yeah.
Most people would not.
But I'd say you're effectively moving
very-
quite large mountains to make it work, right?
I would agree.
Yeah.
But just because someone extends out all these things for you doesn't mean it's owed in reciprocity. So that's the difference as well.
But it's a good indicator that things are on the right track. Is what
Yes.
I'm saying.
If it's met with a, yep, that's cool, then yeah. I mean, otherwise you're going to get a letter at a fucking cafe that you're not receiving and wanting to receive, right?
Yeah.
But I think that it's important to remember that there is other contexts like trauma, pacing, the person's needs, their emotional capacity, the situation and the context with which they're living in.
Do you think
not
the other
to
person has to
justify
worry
it
about that though?
That's not on them, but if you are willing or wanting to engage with someone that has this baggage, this context behind them,
That's a good
you
point.
need to consider it.
Am
I willing
it's a
to
good flag
wait
too,
with
right?
this in
like you're
mind?
like they've got all this baggage, probably a good time to You know what I mean?
It's either am I willing to put up with this and commit to it, or
Shooting
am I
it off the
willing to
pot.
tap out because how much energy am I willing to actually put into this, knowing that I might not get the output that I'm wanting?
The other thing
100%.
is, are they willing to communicate what that trauma and everything is to this person?
That too.
Which is what I guess I'm in that position right now. Is like I have not had any communications about what the fuck is going on right now in this person's life.
Are
So
you with an
I'm-
avoidant though?
I don't think he's avoidant. I think he just there is a lot going on that he
So
is
avoidant,
trying.
he's just
No,
not
I
replying
don't
at
think he's
all.
avoiding because when we're together, if we're in the same space, he talks about everything.
Yeah.
Do not get me wrong. Like most transparent person, first meeting this person ever.
Yeah.
And whenever we're together, we talk and we are very transparent with each other about whatever. It's the in-between communications. It's he works with his phone all the time. He's constantly on his phone. He's on his laptop. He's
So
constantly.
he should be able to respond, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
He
for
should
sure.
be able to, but I also feel like his phone is something that he just doesn't want to look at the end of the day.
I
And
mean,
I
when
totally
you're
understand
done with
that.
working, especially, you want to switch off.
You just want to throw it in the bin.
but
But at the
have
same
a different
time,
device then that you can then
Yeah.
communicate on.
the other thing is, like, I think he has something going on in his life that he doesn't know how
So
to
this is the
communicate.
context, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think for him, just disappearing off the face of the earth is his way of figuring that out. And based on his message response today, it's like, yes, I have got some stuff going on, but I'm not going to bore details. It's like,
So that's avoidant.
that's where it
Yeah.
becomes like when you actually put him, like when I put him on the spot like that, he becomes avoidant.
So a good way, just as a fun little hack for those who are either securely or anxiously attached but attracted to avoidance, because this is just a nice normal pattern.
Yep.
Prefacing ahead of time with a, I'd really like to have a conversation around this in the next few days or around that, because you're giving
Give
them
them
an
a timeline.
opportunity to prepare for a conversation that
Yeah.
they then can be less likely to shut down in. When we confront or even have a conversation with an avoidant, that will send them into shutdown. So a lot of people are like, oh, they're ignoring me, they're stonewalling, or they're walking away. They're not. They're in a nervous system shutdown.
Yeah.
They actually need time. So a nice little tidbit in between is a, hey, I just would like to have this conversation. I'm not saying we have to do it now, but when you have the time, or we can organize a time to actually be face to face, I'd love to have a chat about X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And then it gives them the heads up. They don't feel bombarded or ambushed. And then you can kind of have the dialogue, especially because you guys sound like you're having the dialogue really lovely in person. So you can actually facilitate that by saying, can we discuss this when we next meet?
I feel like I probably would have approached it that way if he hadn't ignored me for an entire week.
Yeah.
So
There's
for
that-
me,
that- all that
it got to
context.
that
It's-
point where it was
And you
like,
can set boundaries around time. Like
Yeah.
if you're going to be
And-
taking that much space, I
Yeah.
actually need you to communicate that
And think
to
about
me.
it. If this is the start of the relationship, the precedence that sets
yeah.
is fucking crazy.
You can set boundaries around that though, because I've
Do you
worked
want
with
to,
people
though?
that do that.
Do you want to though? That early on?
I have dated avoidants that do that, and
Yeah.
my psychologist, who was phenomenal, recommended this, and I recommend this to all of my clients. I say, okay, bare minimum, an avoidant can give to you, me
Yeah.
being in an anxious attachment, I need contact.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
will always need more space. I used to have an ex that would take 2 weeks at a time. And the bare minimum was an emoji. It's a, hey, I'm here, hello.
Yeah.
I just do not have the capacity to respond right now. And all of that is said in one emoji. It is not that hard to send one emoji. And that's just signaling a sign of respect to say, I acknowledge that you have needs. I'm meeting you with the bare minimum that I can provide at this time and point that I'm in my life. I will get back to you with actual words when I have the capacity.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a promise of, I am here even though I cannot be at the capacity that you need me to meet you at. So you
But
can
with that
actually
context, I
strategize
think
around
it's
that.
I want people to strive for much more, because you've got much more now, right?
I agree,
and it's
but
way healthier.
anxious and avoidant attachments need to actually, it takes time to establish that trust, because avoidants are very, very scared. They need to have a lot more space and
Is it
freedom
worth punishing
to feel
yourself
free.
like that though?
It's not punishment though.
Does it feel great?
If you
no,
think
no,
of it as
when-
punishment, then it's punishment.
Yes, if it
you're-
feels like
I
punishment, then
I
you
was
should
an
stop.
anxious attachment. Don't get me wrong, I was an anxious
Yeah.
attachment. I went through a lot of abusive relationships. I was that
Yeah,
person that was
same.
constantly getting phone calls and being
Yeah.
like, where are you? What are you doing? So in my mind, that is a normal relationship. So for me,
Yeah.
it took me that solid 5 years to figure out that that's not normal.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
not healthy.
Or it's not what
and
you
that's-
deserve.
Yeah.
But
big
that's
thing,
not the
'cause
first thing
normal's-
that goes
normal's
through
very
your
different.
mind.
Yeah.
Like when you're trying to figure these things out and you're not dating anyone and you're in a new city and you're trying to Like
Yeah.
I was basing relationships off my new friendships. I'm like,
Mm.
I don't deserve to be treated like that based on how these people treat me, and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
treat me really well. So why would I put myself in that position in a relationship? Like this is the bare
Correct.
minimum for a friendship.
That's the insight that not many people
No,
recognize.
and
That's something
took
that I
me
want to
that
pass on.
5
Is
years.
establishing that early on in your life is
But friendships,
very important.
people see them so differently and weight them so differently. So
Yeah.
you seem like someone that does actually see them at quite an equal
Yeah,
value.
I think.
Most people wouldn't. They
No.
consider the romantic up here,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's why they
Yeah.
well,
devalue.
then that's what I used to. I never had
Yeah.
friends. Like I was always in his friendship group.
Yeah.
I was always
because of the
in-
control there. Yeah,
100%. So when
Mm.
I moved here, it was about my own independence and figuring that out. But I was like, they need to be on the same level. They need to get along.
Yeah.
I need them to know that you're no better than that person at the end of the day. Like, I love you and I love you. You're my significant other, but these are my people. At the end of, like, it's
yeah.
family. Like, at the end of the
Mm.
day, that's just how it is. But
Mm.
it took me 5 years to figure that out.
Yeah,
I would be in that anxiety attachment stage if I didn't do that 5 years by myself. So I was that person at one
Yeah.
stage as well. But it took me a very long, hard road to get to this point. And
Yeah.
I'm literally at that point now. I'm like, dating sucks because I feel like I'm too far ahead.
you got
of
the
everyone
awareness
else.
there that other people don't. So when you're in dating, it's like
It's
fucking Christ. Yeah,
exactly. And it, like I said before, people see me as a mate.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah.
it goes past that mate stage, they're like, oh no, we're really good friends. Like that's pretty much where we're
Like,
going.
oh, mate to good friends. Fuck, what
Yeah.
a champion fucking label. Excellent,
Sweet.
thank you.
But I
so
would
much.
say to you, there's nothing really wrong with being at the point that you're at because you know what you want.
and
and
that
then
says a lot more. Than
all
most
that would
people.
mean is that you're at some weird point where you're trying to get to where you want to be
Mm.
anyway.
Yeah.
So you've just got the filters on,
Mhm.
and it's gonna filter out who it's supposed to filter out.
Yeah.
And
It's-
don't settle for less. Like,
everything
this
else
a
is going to be
beautiful marker.
shit. Like
Mm.
you don't want to waste your time with that. For me, the biggest thing, and it sounds really weird, but it was like
It does.
at the end of every relationship, I was like, fuck. Like, yes, I've learned a lot, but the way that I am in relationships, like I've just given away so much time.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a great wealth of knowledge that comes out of the
Mm.
relationships and all the memories and all that sort of stuff. But I'm like, then they end up with Ames, right? And we were engaged and stuff. And I even say, I've said it to her when we first started dating, like, it's so unfair that you didn't get all of this time with me.
Yeah.
Right. So if I had have just known the
Sooner
things that I needed to know and all these sorts of things with the filtering and whatnot, you can just give that to a person sooner. And you've got there very fucking early.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna have all that time with that one person. You're gonna waste your time with fucking people that don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Probably be attracting people.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you'll have like the shit's gonna happen, man. You're gonna have the ones that you think they're like, this is pretty good, this is awesome, and then there's like
yeah.
that weird shit, and you're always waiting for that weird shit.
Yeah.
Like it's part of
Yeah.
the game, unfortunately, and it
You need
sucks.
the meet cute. You need that whole like scenario and all
Yeah.
that
How I Met Your
fucking
Mother.
rom-com shit. Like that's
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Look, I had that too, man. I had meeting someone in a bar in London, and then long distance, and then moving here to be
Yeah.
with me and all that sort of shit. And even that stuff, dude. Like there was a whole
Yeah.
bunch of fucked stuff with that as
Yeah.
well. So
I go on the dating apps now though. I'm just like I'm literally there for 10 minutes.
Mm.
Thinking, oh my god, what am I doing?
That's how I
Yeah.
feel on dating
I
apps
just
as
don't
well.
feel a connection with a conversation on
Yeah.
there with anyone.
Mm.
Like I've seen one guy off there that I am actually quite close with still, but still did not work out for whatever reason. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
But he and I literally the moment we started talking on there, we were off that app. It was
Yeah.
like,
That's correct,
We didn't
and
want
that's
an
what I was gonna
association with
recommend.
that. We went
Yeah.
straight off
100%.
something, and we're like, all right, we're going to meet up in the next couple of days because we don't want to be we're the hinge couple.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
just wasn't what we were because we just
Correct.
wouldn't talk like I don't know. We just wanted to get to know each other in
Yeah.
person, and
that's the natural progression, I think, with
Yeah.
it. I'll be working with Sarah soon on
Yeah.
a lot of dating app stuff. But the key for that, to everyone listening, is that get it off the app as soon as possible
Oh, get off.
to a in-person meeting
Yeah.
Yeah,
as soon as
don't
possible,
go to the
as safely
Instagram
as
and all that sort
possible.
of stuff. Like you need to have a
Go straight
conversation.
to socials
straight
in
to-
person.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then so at least you can bypass. And again, I'm a big fan of not wasting time. You can get to coffee with someone. You can get to
Mm.
whatever you need to get
Life's
to
too
with
short.
someone
Fucking hell.
to instantaneously feel if there's a
That's the
vibe.
longest
Someone.
thing we have. I'm really sorry to say that, but
Oh,
I'm
Ah,
sorry.
That was so funny.
I'm really sorry.
That was, no, that was great. It was the longest thing we had.
It is objectively.
it is. She's
Objectively
right.
speaking,
Life
it was
is short, also,
Life is
but
short. You just
Mm.
don't know what's around the corner, so why waste it?
like your
Like-
death around the corner because life's so short.
Yes, agreed.
Life's good. LG.
Going forward into podcasts, if you ever hear me say 100%, you can throw stuff at me. I've got to stop saying
I
it.
think
I
that
say it
may
a lot
have.
too.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I need to
100%.
stop. It's
I say
horrible.
dull a lot. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. I think 100%
We've all
is
said
way
twice
worse.
tonight. 100%.
But even
So
the West is 100%. You're like, fucking
Yuck.
stop.
It's
Right, that one.
100.
Yeah.
That one.
Just
We're
speak
not
like
going
a
to-
fucking
Yeah.
Australian,
Thank you.
right?
I know, but you've been letting it
Handy.
slide for way too long.
Yeah, because I don't care how you speak.
I do.
That's a
And the
you
listeners
problem
do.
then.
Hey, the
So
Bogan
correct
accent
yourself.
didn't come out tonight.
What's that?
It almost
The Bogan
did.
accent- yeah. a couple of
Careful
times
there,
I
country
read myself
gal.
A
in.
little bit.
Careful now.
But thank you so much for joining
Yeehaw.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we are
thanks,
we are
guys.
back.
We are
Um,
back. It's exciting.
I hope
Back
you guys
again.
enjoyed
fun.
our time
Shady's
with Bec,
back.
talking
Tell a
about
friend.
what it's like to be a business lady in the dating age of 2023.
Yeah, today was a very candid chat. I like it.
Mm.
I
it
like your
too.
brain. I'm
Thanks.
interested to pick it later.
I'll find that letter.
Oh,
Oh,
please
man.
do. Fucking
I wish you
Christ.
could publish
That's
that
the
letter.
thing.
But look, guys,
Oh,
Maybe you
wish.
should just send
I
us
might
a photo.
ask him first if he's cool with it.
Maybe he should have asked you if you were cool with
I was cool with
receiving the
receiving
fucking letter to begin
whoa,
with.
Do you
good
get
call.
consent?
Good call, dude.
Sorry, but if you're gonna write creepy fucking letters, they can be posted on the fucking internet.
But do you want to?
dear.
I can probably throw these up at the start. Do you want to throw out the Instagrams for all the cafes and stuff to everyone
Including
listening?
the guy as well.
If they want
for
to,
his Instagram, for who to steer the
Lil's
fuck
got
clear
a fucking
from.
vendetta
I'm
against
so
this poor
sorry.
dude.
It sounds like a fucking creep. Postman Pat, and his black and white
But yeah,
cat.
Instas for the
early
cafes.
in the morning.
Tinker, Northcote.
Tinker.
What do we got? Convoy, Mooney Ponds, Terror Twilight, Collingwood, and Hi-Fi Sandwiches.
Check
Excellent.
those out.
That's them on Yoke Group, Yoke.group. Main account.
Not the
Everything's on there.
Northern something group.
No. Yoke.
Yoke.
Excellent. And if you guys have any questions or anything that you want to throw in about
Send
the
them
pod,
on.
about Bec, please email irrelevant.platitudes@gmail.com.
Or follow us on
Instagram.
the socials.
At Erplatpod. Literally Erplatpod on everything.
Don't we have an underscore in there?
Nope.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
Look at that.
It's been deleted this week either. We're still up online. It's not deleted yet.
Sometimes I like to just guess and keep everybody on their toes. But no, there's no underscore.
You just like to counter me as much as humanly possible.
I
that's
really
all.
do. I do really rely on Nooch for everything.
Yeah.
Well, most things. Not everything. Actually, not many things. Just the podcast things. But anyway,
It's the button
irrelevant
presser.
platitudes.
All right, guys. We love you. And
we?
we will see you guys next week.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting, the car's cold. The Pioreal.
Get the fuck out of here! What? Fucking warm it up. Get out of here!
All right.
You heard the man. Get out of here. Thanks for listening to Irrelevant Platitudes.